What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben. So today when it comes to tvOS 18, I have some good news because right here, if we go into our system preferences and go to where it says system and check for a software update, you can see we have a new software update that's available, and this is the tvOS 18.0 release candidate version that previously used to be known as the Golden Master version. And this one is usually the final version before this update comes out to the public. Right there you can see the new build number that this RC version of tvOS 18 has. It's 22J6357 and I was coming from 22J5356A. So going to download and install, and let me quickly do that and then I'll share some of the interesting things that transpired. Alongside tvOS 18 RC, Apple also released a bunch of other updates. So we have iOS and iPadOS 17.7 release candidate version, visionOS 2 release candidate version, watchOS 11 RC, tvOS 18 RC, of course, with the build number that I highlighted that you can see right there, 22J357. And we also have macOS 15 RC, iPadOS alongside iOS 18 release candidate version. Now, most of these updates I do cover on the channel here, so do subscribe so that you stay up to date. And something that I wanted to show you right here is the release date for tvOS 18, because if you go to this website, beta.apple.com, all these software updates have a release date. So for example, for iOS 18, if you are interested in that, it's going to be released on the 16th of this month, which is September. And you can see the 16th is next week, Monday. It's around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that they release this update. So that's iOS 18. At the same time, if you look at iPadOS 18, it's going to be released on the 16th as well. And macOS 15 Sequoia is going to be released on the 16th of this month. But if you go to watchOS 11 as well, it's going to be released on the same time as well, 16th of this month. And when you go to tvOS 18, unfortunately it doesn't really tell you, but what Apple has always done in the past, when they release all these software updates that you see here that are in beta, then they also release the corresponding tvOS 18 as well as the HomePod OS version as well. So expect tvOS 18 and the HomePod software 18 on Monday, the September 16th at around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My tvOS update is now complete, and if we go to software update, you can see our device is now up to date, and at the same time you can see the 22J357 software update that we are on. Now, when it comes to new features and changes that this update has to offer, unfortunately, there isn't much. I've been looking into different notes, and one of the changes that Apple introduced with Apple Music is changing this section that I'm on that says new. Before that, it used to be called browse, but Apple is keeping it uniform with other softwares by changing it to new. And at the same time, Apple introduced SharePlay, which used to be there but was removed for some reason. So if you are playing a song and you go to this section here on the bottom, you have a QR code that shows up right here, and other users can scan this QR code to be able to connect and automatically join the music playlist and become the DJ. And only you or the person that's initiating the SharePlay or that has the Apple Music subscription trying to do this SharePlay needs to have an account. But it doesn't end there, because from the HomePod OS release description, they have added SharePlay, and you can now share your playlist with guests so they can control the music too. So that's something that's good. Under the What's New tab here, they've also updated a few of the tabs, and some of the icons that you see here have been brought up to standard with the latest symbols. And also, according to the release notes of this update, if you're having issues with connecting to your network, they have fixed an issue that related to connectivity over wireless connection. Unfortunately, if you go into the video and audio settings, I went through this multiple times, there is no Dolby Atmos Bitstream in True HD, which has been added in other software updates. In the Apple Music application on macOS, if you go to the settings and go to playback, you can see that this is actually there where you have prefer HDMI pass-through, and you can play supported audio in Dolby Atmos and other Dolby audio formats using HDMI pass-through. And this is what we need on the Apple TV. So this is the Apple Music application on macOS. It doesn't end there, because if you go to the Apple TV application on macOS, which should mainly be updated on the Apple TV first, under the playback section as well, you can see we have this prefer HDMI pass-through, and it also has the high bitrate Dolby Atmos lossless support, which is something that's good for macOS. But for the Apple TV, which is meant to be used to watch Apple TV mainly, this hasn't been updated. And since we are already on the release candidate version, I believe that this is something that we might see in a newer update of tvOS, for example, like tvOS 18.1. And also, it's not just tvOS itself that's going to be launching without all the major new features and changes. In fact, iOS 18 is going to launch without most of the Apple Intelligence features, which is a big thing. And at the same time, macOS 15 Sequoia is also going to launch without the Apple Intelligence and Image Playground, because those are going to be in beta, and then these are going to be released a month after the official version of iOS 18 and macOS 15 comes out. So maybe in a version of tvOS 18.1, that's when we might be able to see this, because it's been heavily requested, and I've said it in the feedback assistant application as well. Now, under the screensaver section right here, the portrait is still there. Unfortunately, there was an issue where some users on the previous update couldn't see this, but you can see the portrait is still there, but we still have two screensavers that are still missing. One of it is a screensaver based on Apple TV original shows and movies that's going to show different scenes, and the other one is a heavily requested Snoopy screensaver and the Beagle, where they are going to be doing different animation and movements. Just like the HDMI pass-through, I feel like this is something that's going to be coming at a later version or with a later update of tvOS, because Apple did talk about this at this year's WWDC. And a cool thing about Snoopy and why maybe it's worth the wait is that at least on the Apple Watch, this watch face is dynamic, meaning that it takes into account different things such as the time of the day, and it plays with the arms. It takes into account your calendar and your different activities, and it also takes into account your environment. So if it feels like you're doing sports, Snoopy would do like a sport related animation or activity. If it's raining in your location, Snoopy might be doing like with an umbrella or an animation that includes rain. And so on the Apple TV, this might be a screensaver worth waiting for, but unfortunately at the time of this recording, this update is not yet there. We recently got a new Apple event a few hours ago, and Apple released the iPhone 16 Pro that has a new Pro chip that has also the ability to record 4K 120 FPS Dolby Vision video, and it has an 18 Pro chip. And you can see they also released the iPhone 16 that has a dedicated Apple Intelligence chip that has been redesigned from the ground up. And Apple released the Apple Watch Series 10, which now is even bigger than the Apple Watch Ultra. So it comes in this new black finish, which looks pretty cool. Now, we didn't get a new Apple Watch Ultra 3, but the existing Apple Watch Ultra 2 got some updates in terms of the color, and we got new AirPods 4 right here that have been updated. We didn't get AirPods 3, but we got AirPods 2 that are going to be getting a software update to improve some hearing experience and be able to help you and protect your hearing. And these are going to be working with the Apple TV as well, using the head motion. So if you're watching a show and you get a call, you can just shake your head for no, or just shake your head up and down for yes, and it will know that you want to take the call or decline the call depending on the head motion that you do, which is something that's cool. The AirPods Max got updated with USB-C charging, and they come in more colors now. You can see the different variations, and they're going to be available here. And at the same time, that's just all that Apple has released. Unfortunately, there is no new Apple TV 4K for this year, but according to different rumors and sources online, there might be another Apple event in October that's just based on Apple Silicon M1 devices, new Macs, and possibly a new Apple TV. So if you were thinking of getting a new Apple TV, maybe just holding off for about a month or so, you'll be able to get a better vision or get to know when a new Apple TV might be coming out. So basically, that's about it for me when it comes to this new tvOS 18 RC version. Nothing much compared to the previous beta that I was on. So this is one of the easiest videos I've ever had to make, and that's just because the update itself doesn't have much. Let me know if you're going to be updating to tvOS 18 when it comes out on Monday the 16th. And if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.